and gentlemen. Welcome to the 7-Figure Fashion Business Podcast,
where we talk about the fashion industry and how to get your fashion business to 7 figures.
From manufacturing strategies, cut and sew designers, to fashion hot topics and the latest fashion trends, I'm your host, Monica Monique.
And I'm your host, XYZeee. And let's jump into today's episode.
Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
What is up?
The sky. The moon, the stars, the universe, God, everything above us, within us, for us, by us. FUBU. I don't know. That's what's up.
We had a really good conversation the other day.
Who?
Us. When we was on the phone.
Oh.
And
I'm like, who?
he was like, yeah, this is... I remember I was at home cleaning up. He was at the store working. And we was on the phone where we was talking about just... people don't know what to do in their fashion career, or they don't know what steps to take, so like they'll come to you with questions and stuff. And of course you want to be nice, and like answer them and tell them. But the very first time that you do help them out, they'll always come back and it will start to get annoying.
Right, especially if it gives them results.
Yeah.
Which it always does.
Yeah. So that was a good conversation. It's time to start setting boundaries.
Yeah, for sure. I think my whole thing is, like, I always wanted to be a resource for fashion designers to pull from, and definitely want to be open with the community about, like, how I've been able to get, past these steps. Because some of the answers are just keep trying, just keep practicing. Take it out, put it back in. Take it out, put it back in again. Because the more you start over, the more you get frustrated with yourself to where you're just going to do it right the first time, So, like, sometimes the answers to a lot of people's problems is not a trick that, I want people to pay for. Sometimes it's just, you got to keep pushing past this situation or this moment, or you have to learn how to say no. And I feel like, should I charge designers to ask me certain questions? And the response is just so easy. But at this point, I feel like it's not easy for everybody.
Yeah.
The response is easy for me because I've gone through it. I've been through it. I've paid for classes. I've got my bachelor's degree. I've been in business for so long. So at this point, I've paid my dues, and now people have too as well.
Yeah.
Like, I think certain designers who I have either mentored before, or who have worked at my store, or who know me personally or have met me on several occasions, they're just getting too comfortable asking me questions every week. Even the businesses around me, like the fabric stores, will come to me and say, hey, can you come over to the fabric store? I have a customer here or something. And I'm thinking it's a customer for me and my business. But it's a designer who asked them, their customer, oh, how should I sew this fabric? And then they'll call me over to tell them how to sew the fabric. Like,
that would have been irked. What do you do in that situation?
I'd be like, well, I got my bachelor's degree in fashion. Maybe you should too.
But, once you set boundaries, people don't like that. When you don't do what people want you to do, or when you don't do what people ask, and you set boundaries, it makes people hate you. It makes people not like you.
I think hate is a strong word.
I asked her for help, and she acting bougie, like she don't want to.
Like, that's how people want to respond.
That's how they're gonna take it.
Yeah. Okay.
So you don't want to.
What does that do?
You don't. It's an awkward situation because you don't want to respond. I mean, you don't want to tell them, you don't want to respond, but at the same time, you don't want to upset people. Right. So what is the proper way to respond?
It's difficult because I feel like, for example, with the fabric store situation, that time, right? Because there's been several times, but like there was one time where a designer asked how she could sew on a diamond piece, and I said it has to be hand sewn, and she was like, "Yeah, but like, how do I hand sew it?" And I said, well, there are a lot of YouTube videos about hand sewing on rhinestone panels or applique. You would have to look it up, but there's a lot of different hand sewing techniques. But I don't teach classes on sewing, so I wouldn't be able to like walk you through that. But if you are interested in fashion, definitely listen to my podcast. Maybe I'll have a source in the future where I'll be showing it, but yeah, I'm not going to sit here and walk you through how to hand sew. That doesn't make any sense for me. So a lot of times I'll point them to YouTube. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, Google it. Yeah. YouTube it. Yeah. Like, I don't know if they expect me to pull out a needle and thread and teach them a 5-hour class on the techniques of hand sewing. Yeah. But that, to me, is a crazy question to ask. Yeah. I don't think people know that it's a crazy question to ask.
They don't.
I don't think they know.
I don't think they'll ever know until they're in the situation. Right. There being no one that's asked.
Right. But I think it was a proper response to say, I don't have the time to like teach you, and I don't teach classes on that anyway. Yeah. But for sure, if you Google it or look it up on YouTube, there will be plenty of videos as resources. Yeah. I think that's a polite response. Yeah. Now, the people who I do actually want to teach or who fall into the category of designers that I would actually teach, who ask me questions for free, now I have to go back and say to them, okay, well, I teach classes on this now, or I have a mentorship program now. So unless you're part of my mentorship group, I can't respond to you because there are a community of designers that pay me for these same answers to these questions or for the capability to call me and ask me questions. So out of respect for my paying customers, I can't respond. So that's pretty much how I think I'm going to respond from now on. Out of respect for my paying customers and my paying mentees, I can't respond without you being part of my membership group. Because there are designers who I know and love who I used to mentor or who used to work in my store or used to be interns, but they're no longer that anymore. And I've, continued for years giving them advice and stuff on the side or giving them vendor lists or resources for different things. But at this point, I almost feel like you taking my customer because you've been doing this for a while. So you have enough knowledge and money to pay me for that. So I don't think that's a resource I can give for free anymore. But I think maybe, I don't know how they're going to take it. They might take it negatively, but I think if I say out of respect for my paying customers, I can't do this for free anymore. I feel like that's, why would you respond negatively to that?
People take stuff the wrong way when you start setting boundaries. You have to set boundaries though, because it's going to hurt you and your business. Go ahead. People pleasing.
Right. People pleasing will cost you. Mind you.
You can have a good heart. All you want, but
it's still fine to say no. Yeah. I say no to family members all the time about all of the types of things. I think it's interesting for me that I'm not struggling, but I have a hard time saying no to past mentees. Because I think I raised them up like my little sisters, And if you're my little sister, of course I'm not going to charge you for whatever, but you're not my actual little sister, And yes, you can call me for the rest of your life about anything like personal or dealing with like a little sister would, talking about like personal stuff or advice or like what college to pick or how to deal with certain situations with your parents or whatever. But when it comes to asking me specific questions about prom dresses or gowns or measurements or this, okay, well now this is my business. So now this is not the little sister part. This is the business part. And I think it has to be a separation. Like, yes, you can call me and be like, hey, what should I do? My best friend says she doesn't want to be my friend anymore because I'm now dating the guy that she liked, but she didn't tell me she liked. Cool. I'll have an hour conversation with you. If you call me and say, hey, what should I do? I have a prom customer who wanted a flower design who now completely changed their mind. They already put down a 50% deposit, but now I bought the fabric for one thing and now they changed the design and I'll have to get a different fabric. What should I do? Okay, well, now you have to be part of my mentorship and pay for this membership program in order to ask me that question because that's my business. So I think I now have to like create a separation.
Yeah. You definitely at that stage in your career. And you're not going to be able to avoid those questions no more. They're going to come. So you have to have your response down packed and link in bio, your links, your recommendations. Just have them ready. And be smart about it. Like, okay, I'm noticing that people asking me a lot of questions. How can I capitalize off of this? And still,
the podcast was supposed to be that.
Yeah, I have a fashion podcast.
But I think when people have specific questions, they just want a specific answer. And I think that's where, like...
Just give them the runaround.
Just give them the runaround?
And that's my response. And then if they keep going, it's like, okay, that's my response. Like, I have nothing else. Link in bio.
Right.
Fashion podcast.
Yeah.
Patreon. Domestica.
Now YouTube. Oh my goodness. YouTube. Out of nowhere, I feel like. And now people are asking me questions on YouTube. And it's only been like a week or two since like this one video blew up and got over, I think now it's at 1.8 million views, this little short clip. But even before that, I started posting like little shorts of like basically the same stuff that I put on Instagram or just little clips of me sewing or you sewing or like people in my store working or whatever. And now...
Before you continue. Remember that episode where you talked about putting all your videos and pictures and all your products on different platforms? This is a great example of that.
Yeah, like...
Because it blew up on YouTube.
Yeah.
It did good on other platforms, but on YouTube is...
Yeah.
Where...
Look, I be taking my own advice sometimes. Like, sometimes I listen to myself. It's rare. But, yeah, I think that... because that video blew up and people started paying attention to the shorts that I posted even before that video, they're like, oh, this girl specializes in gowns and making gowns. Let's ask her questions in the comments. And that one video has like 850 comments or something. And I would say maybe 100 of them are fashion related questions. Other questions are just like, oh, where'd you get this mannequin or whatever. Or how can I buy the dress? And then I put my website link. But I think with YouTube as well, it's also like, okay, maybe I should use this as another way for people to get advice. So I posted a video of me talking about like how I became a 6-figure prom season designer, like how I just started focusing on that one season, making my yearly amount in that one season and like taking vacay. Put that on my YouTube. More questions, more responses, more positive energy towards that. So I was like, okay, cool. But now I definitely see it's even more of a bigger drive for me to create this like mentorship program. Yeah. Because I just think people have direct questions like, how can you help me and my brand? How can I do this for what I do? If I only make wedding gowns or if I only make kids flower dresses or if I only make baby prom dresses, like how can I do this as a 6-figure season with your advice? And I can answer that question for you if you join my mentorship program. But why would I create a whole YouTube video based off of your personal life and your personal brand? That wouldn't make sense. And then I'm also not going to go in the comments and write a 10-page response to this comment. So I do think it makes more sense for this mentorship program.
Yeah. And then pay attention to the comments, and that can help you with your next idea, your next video topic idea.
Yeah,
like if everybody asking, how do I sew this? Make a video about, okay, this is how you sew such and such.
Right.
That's
right.
Good.
And I think, so basically what it is right now where it lives is patreon.com. I might change it. I'm not sure. But patreon.com/Monica Monique shop is where you can find it. Right now it's $29, I think, a month. I might change it to $150. $159.99 a month. Because if I help you make an extra $2K that month by answering your question, am I undervaluing it at $29.99 a month? Because there's literally a place where you can ask me specific questions about your brand and where I'll help you do this. And it's a public platform too. So somebody else who sees your question will be able to look at that response and say, oh, wow, that was a really good tip right there. Let me use this in my business too. But it's for the community to help each other. So I think, or should I leave it at $29.99 and give people the capability to book like 1 or 2 hour session talking to me directly about their brand and have that phone call be $200, $300. I'm thinking this through while I'm talking, you know?
At least you want to do it.
Yeah.
At least you want to help people with their brand and answer questions and teach. Yeah. At least you want to do that.
You saying because you don't?
Not that I do. I want to have when I'm older, like 60, 70, and I'm done with my fashion career. I don't think I'll ever be done. But I think I want to start a fashion school. Yeah. Like a maid. Yeah. Like a maid institute. Not like a Drexel or like a university, but I would start a fashion school. It's brilliant. Yeah. But right now, I think that if I say yes to you and yes to helping you, I'm saying no to myself. I can see if for sure. I can see if my business was put together. I can see if I had a team. Right. Then yes, I wouldn't mind helping you, but me saying yes to you is gonna take up my time. Yeah. And I need to utilize my time smart. Yeah. And I have a vision for my brand, and why can't I chase my dreams by myself at one point? Oh, without 100% without everybody thinking about themselves. I think for you, for sure, it makes more sense for you to not, because you're not there yet where you want to. You're still learning a lot yourself, and I'm still learning a lot myself. I feel like, yes, I have been doing this for 14 years, so I'm at the stage where I can tell you exactly how to get to the bag quickly, but it's also like, I don't think it's fair. I can tell you how, and this is kind of why I do it the way I do it. I can tell you how to get to 6 figures in a season. I can tell you how to do that right now because that's what I'm doing and a little bit more. But I'm not going to advertise telling you how to get to 7 figures in a season until I've done it 3 times in a row. Because I think you have to know what you're talking about before you teach it. And I feel like a lot of teachers don't. Y'all online gurus don't really do what they talking about before they teach it. And not only do what they talking about, but master it. I have mastered being able to do this over and over again and take several months off and go on vacation and still live a very prosperous life. But right now I'm working on doing 7 figures in a season. And when I do that, I'm still not going to teach it until I have that mastered, until I do it again and then again, because I want to know that I'm teaching you the correct way, number one. But number two, it has to be beneficial for me first before I give you all of my sauce. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So I think the 6-figure stuff, I'm done with that sauce. I'm on to the 7-figure stuff now. And once I'm on to 8 and 9 and 10 figures, I'm going to still be teaching you the 7-figure stuff. Because not that y'all can't do the same thing as me, but I have to have my own thing separate from what this is. Yeah. I think, for sure. Since I've been back on Instagram posting that I'm sewing again, My DMs have been going off, and I'm actually proud of myself for responding to some and not responding to some. Mm-hmm. And I've been getting a lot of teach me, make this for me, and every it's triggering a little bit because every reason I started sewing when I was 21, and it wasn't what I imagined like sewing would be. Mm-hmm. Going into it, like I seen the dark side of it. Okay. And everything that scared me away is coming back. So it's a little triggering, but it's coming back with not the same people, but new people. Right. So this is just the way that people approach it. Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like your response is different now, though?
Yeah, my response, some stuff I really didn't respond, but my response is very different. Now is, hey, here's my consultation. Mm-hmm. Like, you could book a consultation here. And that's keeping away the red flag customers. Right. Promoting the green flag customers. And a lot of information is just going to be put on the website or the Instagram page. Like, a lot of, like, silly questions that get asked because they get asked from multiple people. Right. So if a lot of people's asking, I'm pretty sure more people is thinking it. So what can I do to stop getting this question? Mm-hmm. Also, I don't know, people just think about themselves. Teach me. I went to this event and this girl came up to me. She didn't even speak. Mm-hmm. Didn't say hi or nothing. Mm-hmm. It was just like, oh my God, why I got you here? I finally got this opportunity. Teach me how to. It was so ignorant. It was so rude. I was like, you get put in random situations. You just be living your normal life, doing your regular day, and then people come with like the invasive questions or just but you can't get mad because people don't know no better.
Right. And I think like it's not even that they are selfish more than they don't know what they don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, the question was ignorant in the definition of ignorant, which is unknowing. Yeah. And unaware. You know, your response should have been like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not a fashion teacher.
That's what I said.
And that was the correct response. Because I don't teach. She must have thought you were a teacher. Yeah. It was like, oh, I don't teach fashion classes. I'm sorry. Yeah. You gotta find a
But then when you say that, it'd be like
class or
right, school. But it don't matter. It could be 20 minutes. It's not ever going to be 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
It's not ever going to be, oh no, just so fast. Like, you could just show me. And when you say no, people just find out ways and ways and ways and ways and ways. Right. But the answer is no.
Like, there's a lot to this.
But that particular day was like, okay, I need to have, just check out the link in my bio.
Yeah. But I also feel like, I'm sure there's a lot of spaces. That's why I give so much grace to people who ask me questions that I feel like may or may not be smart. I feel like I probably ask people dumb questions too. Mm-hmm. Like, teach me how to cook. Mm-hmm. How? Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. That is a dumb question. Mind you, I've never asked anybody that question because I don't even want to know how to cook. But I'm sure that's a dumb question in the same way as teach me how to sew is a dumb question. Like, there is a lot. There's 2,222 steps to this. Mm-hmm. And you want me to teach you too? Mm-hmm. That's not even going to get you nowhere. Mm-hmm. My first 2 steps is, this is a needle. This is thread. All right, class over.
20 minutes is up.
20 minutes is up. I can teach a 20-minute class on just needles alone. And a lot of y'all need the class. I was talking to one of the interns, and they were saying something that they sewed came out wrong. And I was like, oh, what needle were you using? And she was like, oh, I don't know. And I was like, well, what type of fabric were you sewing on? And she was like, oh, I think it had stretch. I'm like, okay, was it 2-way stretch or 4-way stretch? Mm-hmm. I don't know what's 2-way stretch, what's 4-way stretch. Mm-hmm. Like, 2-way stretch stretches 2 ways, 4-way stretches on each side. Okay, well, I don't know which one it was. And I was like, okay, well, we're using a stretch needle.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, I didn't know there were different types of needles.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, well, yeah, there's, stretch needles, jersey needles, heavy duty needles, denim needles, leather needles. So if you're using like a heavier weight needle, but you're on a lighter weight fabric, let's say a satin, you'll notice those little pulls in the thread, in the fabric. And she was like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. And I was like, and what stitch tightness was your stitch on? She was like, I don't know how to look that up on the machine. So what, all that to say, it's not going to be 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, it's a lot that you are not thinking about or that you don't even know to look for before you even start your first stitch.
Yeah. I went to May Institute, in the very first class, all those questions, everything you just said, all of those was in that very first class. We didn't even learn how to sew, but we went through the basics.
Yes.
So you gotta go to people that teach classes, because I think if you try to follow after somebody that just sew, they're not gonna. The teaching's gonna be all over the place. They're probably gonna teach you the littlest things,
and they don't
versus
even
somebody that literally teaches. They're gonna set up a criteria, the smartest criteria.
Right.
I don't know.
Like, they know the actual steps to get you from A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to F.
That's what they're a teacher. They want to be a teacher.
Yeah. So I think...
I don't want to be a teacher.
And I think a lot
designer. Why would I teach you my pizzazz?
Right. And I think a lot of people don't even know. The designers y'all asking don't even know what they doing.
Oh my goodness.
They don't even know. I know people with successful fashion brands, what other people would perceive as successful fashion brands, had a fashion brand for 9-10 years of sweatsuits or denim or dresses or whatever, but get it manufactured or just print their name over manufactured pieces. And when I talk to them and ask them questions about fashion design, they don't even know what I'm talking about. It's like I'm speaking science to them. And I think what y'all don't realize is a lot of people don't even know the basics of fashion design. They just put their label on something and if get high, God bless. But there are other people who really do this for real. And I think I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I think those type of brands, their brand will just be cool for a little bit. I don't see longevity. I don't see them lasting in the fashion world.
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
They're gonna have their run, but it's gonna not having the knowledge in the fashion world is gonna catch up to them.
When are we supposed to get to our topic? Let me see.
But look, one more thing. So back to my DMs. Always, for me, when I was in high school, I didn't really care. I didn't really care about what people said to me, or I wasn't really sensitive. But when I started my fashion brand, the stuff people say really, really, really irritates me, especially when it has anything to do with someone. So in my DMs been going off, very triggering, because every reason why I gave up last time is just repeating itself. However, now I'm more mature, got more knowledge. And I am approaching it the right way, but not even 2 seconds into me telling people that I'm back sewing again, here goes someone asking me, I'm crying. Okay, here goes someone asking me, this person is a fashion designer, and they actually don't know anything about fashion. However, they are really talented they know how to draw. So they draw designs, and they created other designs for bigger brands. Like, they have a viral design that they made, and the design took off. They know how to design, but they don't know how to make clothes and stuff. Right. So that's their dilemma as a designer. So the person just caught me off guard, very demanding, and just, hey, teach me how to sew. And then I'm like, okay, so like I don't teach. The answer is no. Then they responded like, well, if you teach me how to sew and you make my samples, I could just send it to the manufacturer, and then I'm gonna get my other fashion friends to help you. And it's all about networking. And you don't want to network. And I was like, you're saying everything, like everything that I hate about sewing. Like, you're saying everything that I don't want to do.
Right.
And then I try to break it down. Like, the conversation we just had now, everything I said before, I said to this person. And he's like, no, you don't know what you're talking about. You all over the place. And I'm like, oh, my God. It's repeating itself.
Right. But I think you could also say, all right, I'll call you it.
Oh, yeah. I think, mind you, I blocked this person. Now, I'm like, okay, you have to stick to blocking.
Right, because it's not even that their opinion was or wasn't correct for the industry that they are in. It's not that it wasn't correct for the industry that they are in or what they specifically do in their crowd. It's just not going to work for you.
Yeah, that's what I said. Personally. I'm not the designer for you. I said, I'm not a manufacturer. Right. I said, you have to go to a manufacturer. They said, I hate manufacturers because it take 3 months.
That's how long it should take.
It'd take 3 months just for them to make a sample. And I'm like, go to school. I can send you people that specialize in manufacturing. They can tell you how to approach the manufacturer, because manufacturers do manipulate these artists, these talented artists, because they don't know anything about sewing. They just have an idea. They manipulate you.
I suggest
they manipulate you a lot.
Right. There's a school called Start Your Fashion Business from Stephanie. That's a good. They teach that a lot. It's like it's how to work with manufacturers, how to do MOQs, how to know your orders, how to know your patterns, how to know your sizes, how to not get scammed. But you, XYZ, don't teach that.
XYZ is a fashion designer.
Right.
Oh, then they was like, well, what's your goal? I was like,
what they got to do with you?
Like, I'm a designer. I would say I'm a designer that makes their clothes and sell them. You so limited. I don't like this. You gotta like network and do this. I was like, oh my God, it's coming back.
Right, but
it's coming back.
But you're around. See, that's the type of person you shouldn't be around or talking to, because this person doesn't respect your boundaries or what you're telling them you are doing at this time. And if they make you feel anxiety or lesser than, or talk to you in a way that you don't appreciate, you shouldn't be talking to them anymore. And it's really about choosing the people that's around you. And that's like somebody that you don't want around you.
It was cool. It was really cool. Our conversation was really great. But
that conversation?
Not that one. But our conversations before that have really great fashion conversations. I'm telling you, like, it felt so good to talk to somebody about fashion. Me and you talk about fashion all day, but that was really cool.
It's just when they started to overstep.
Ask me to help them. I was helping them. Do this. No, do this route. I can't do that because...
But how can they both ask you for advice and tell you don't know nothing? Is my question.
And then we was talking about how you have your vision. Stop telling people because only you could see it. That was a moment I realized that, like, okay, so you don't see what I'm seeing, so you don't understand.
Supposed to.
Yeah.
But you had that conversation with them, like, don't tell your vision?
No, I had that in my head.
Oh,
okay. I was like, this that moment.
It just seems like that was possibly their personality. But I wanted to get into the topic. Not that we already didn't get into the good topics, but I wanted to add this on the episode. So it says 7 real systems to build your army of raving fans and make $1 million online in online sales. Now, I thought this was important because a lot of our listeners, fashion designers, even friends, a lot of people are trying to figure out, how can I get an online following to build an e-commerce brand? Now, our fashion brands are e-commerce and online, but they're also very much in the real world too, because we do a lot of like custom fittings and stuff like that. So it exists in both planes. But I think all of these things should be a part of your business. So it's basically talking about like what elevates you as an entrepreneur and how to put some parts of your business on autopilot and implement systems. Basically working smarter, not harder. Number 1, audience growth system. So it says grow your community on a rented platform. Rented meaning you don't own the platform. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. These are rented platforms. We are not making money, though we get a little percentage if we like monetize or whatever our reels and TikToks. I think they give you like a penny per view. If you get 1 million views, you might get $100, which to me is insane. But basically, grow your platform on these rented spaces, right? Then drive your members to your own platform, such as your email list, your text list, to get them onto your personal website or your personal community. So that's kind of what I pointed out to earlier. Like, yes, now I'm getting all these followers and fans on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. Now I need them to be somewhere to monetize on what they specifically need. So now I'm like, okay, well, maybe Patreon. Now, Patreon could possibly also be considered a rented community, but at least they're paying you directly for what, and you set your price.
Yeah.
Number 2, content waterfall system. So it says take one long form piece of content and then turn it into 3 IG reels, 10 tweets, 1 newsletter, and 3 YouTube shorts. And it says it's called cross-platform leveraging on steroids. I definitely think we should be doing that with the podcast, honestly. All these long behind videos we got.
Yeah.
We definitely need to be turning them into IG reels, not tweets, but threads, a newsletter. But I feel like that's what our Patreon is. Like our newsletter is our podcast Patreon. And then YouTube shorts for sure.
Yeah. You know what we need to?
What?
Our website. I feel as though our website, we said it before. You know how the Shade Room, I'll post something and be like, hey, for like more information, check out the whole blog. I think I need to be writing like full blown news reports.
Patreon
blogs.
is where you could do that.
Yeah.
And then they pay for it.
And then I think on one of those interviews you had on, what is it called? The Guy and the Girl podcast.
Social Proof.
Social Proof. He said that the Shade Room make a lot of money off of their website. Not even just they post, their website. Yeah. So we gotta get our website.
I think because they have ads on their websites, you know, toilet tissue, Charmin, you know, like little stuff will pop up, Tide, Dawn, you know, and then you have to wait for the ad to go away to see the rest of the story. I wouldn't want that on my website. That's very annoying. I had it on my website and somebody wrote me, and I will never have it again. Somebody wrote me, and I thank this person. She said the ads on your website make me not want to even shop for clothes because every time I click on something, an ad pop up. So I just leave your website. But at the time, I was making, you know, like 90 cents per ad that was on there. So that's a lot of money. So for a couple of days of sales, that's already $20, $40. How much the Shade Room is making off of those ads, annoying ads. But not if you're not going to buy my clothes. I'd rather make $1,000 than $40. So I just won't put ads on there again.
Ads will make me click off the website.
Yeah, me too. That's why I'm like, oh, it's not worth it.
I'll start doing that though. Whenever I post something on Instagram, I'll go to Twitter, TikTok, and on that one video
and post it on all of them.
All of them, and utilize each platform. Yeah, it's not going to be okay. Post it for Instagram, right? I'll do one idea for each platform. Yeah. Vision board system. List your values. They are
the goalpost of your success. So define your niche, how you want people to describe you, identify and set your 3 to 10 year goals, and then set your idea of life aside today to roadmap it and achieve it. What does this have to do with your business? I guess this is saying, like, by creating your vision board and being clear on what you want for your business, it'll come to you faster. Because the vision for your company needs to align with the things you're posting, promoting, and all those things. I'm assuming. So then the next one says a hiring system. Imagine your team as high-performing sports members. List the top 5 traits you want to see in your team members and recruit those team members. Hiring and onboarding systems are also needed. So basically, you need to have an onboarding system, just like when you go into, let's say, a Macy's or a Walmart or a Target. You got to sit down and watch these videos about sexual harassment or how to properly stock a shelf or how to clock in. Like, these are systems of operation. Aside from that, when he's talking about, like, imagine your team as high performing sports members, it's like, what are these, and saying what are these traits you want in your team members that you hire. I think that I almost do that not when I hire, but I feel like my first week with a new person is like their trial week. And I'll be able to see how they act in the store, and then I adjust accordingly. So usually when somebody even applies to work in my store, I already know they're into fashion. I already know they have a willingness or earnestness to learn fashion design. But then I want to see how you interact with customers, how you interact with people, how you operate around the store. Do you, like, put stuff back where you found it? Do you clean up after yourself? Do you put the hangers back? When you work with the mannequins, do you get frustrated and throw the arm? I'll kill you. I kill you. But, like, I want to see how people work. But I think, like, the traits of, like, patience is one that I feel like I always look for. Patience with yourself when you're working on things. I look for patience. I look for positivity. I look for being a nice human, like being nice to customers, being nice to yourself, being nice when you speak. I also look for people who have a passion for fashion design and art and creativity. And I think number 5 would be maybe just, like, smart. Like, smart in a way where I don't have to tell you to put something back, or I don't have to tell you to finish something, or I don't have to tell you like, you're just going. So maybe that's not smart. Maybe that's, like, initiative. So your person is going to take initiative. I think I'll look for that in a team member. Number 5 is a monetization system. Own your audience through email signups, online courses, and communities. This person used ConvertKit, Kajabi, and School with a K to share valuable content and build a community of 170K plus subscribers. Subscription-based communities provide predictable revenue that you can count on. Now, that's something I think people need to pay attention to.
That was good.
Subscription-based communities provide revenue that you can count on. So if you have 10 people subscribing at $10 each a month, you already know you're going to make $100 a month. Times 200, 300, 400, however many extra subscribers, but you're going to make that much a month. And I think that's why I think subscription-based systems like Patreon are better, because then we'll know, okay, we have 3 subscribers, so we'll get $30 at the end of the month. We have 20 subscribers, we know we're getting $200 at the end of the month. But the subscription-based model is better because most people don't exit out of their subscriptions. Just like Amazon Prime or Netflix or Hulu or Apple Music. People usually don't get rid of those subscriptions. So I think with course platforms and communities as well, people don't get rid of those subscriptions either. So it's a good way to make money.
Yeah.
Dashboard system. It says set up a simple dashboard so you can have real-time data on how your business is doing. Revenue, profit, margin, and user growth. So you can reduce your overwhelm. So basically saying you need to have a dashboard system to keep track of your analytics. Like how many customers in, how many customers out, how many new subscribers on this platform, how many new people on that platform. But have a system where you can kind of see all the numbers. And I think that is probably a little bit harder to set up because we were saying earlier, like there's YouTube, there's TikTok, but then there's also Shopify, Square, Wix, whatever. You never know how many different platforms different people are going to have. So you have to kind of systemize that all into one area to be able to keep track of analytics like this. A referral system. Now, I think this is the most powerful one. It says a referral system. Word of mouth is your most powerful salesperson. Create a referral flood from your community. Provide links, invite friends, refer customers, and offer leads. It's a win-win. How do you think about that one?
I can see it.
This is always your response.
I can see it because people, even when you sign up for apps or new platforms, they're like, invite a friend, get $10 off. Or people have like loyalty cards, like the more you come or the more people you recommend, you get this off. So I can see that.
Yeah. Is there any...
And back in the day, that was how they did it. Word of mouth.
Word of mouth. And I think word of mouth in general is more powerful because it's coming from somebody you know.
Yeah.
Like, even if somebody, or even if online tells me, you know, let's say HelloFresh is a good food delivery system. Okay. But if you tell me, I've been using HelloFresh for 2 months now, and honestly, like, it's changed everything about the way I eat. The meals are good, and I'm losing weight. Then I'm gonna be like, oh, well, maybe I should get HelloFresh because I know you personally. So I think even though online and social media and everything else is getting bigger, I think it's still no comparison to word of mouth referrals.
Yeah, and people literally go to Yelp first or go to Google reviews to see what other people experience. Yeah, so people care about word of mouth feedback.
Online.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, for me, I think, for example, if I want to get my hair braided, I'm going to ask somebody I know before I go to Google or Yelp. Like, do you know somewhere local where I can get my hair braided, like, quick, fast, whatever? Yeah. I would trust you more than just Googling best braiding shops in Philly. Yeah. You know?
I wouldn't trust Googling it.
You wouldn't trust
I would not trust.
Yeah.
They is going to show you the person that is paying them more.
True. That's true too.
For the ads, for that sponsorship.
But, I think those were some good tips.
Yeah, those was really good.
It says follow these 7 systems to build your automated empire and make your first $1 million online. So those were the 7 tips, like systems, a referral system, a dashboard system to keep track of your revenue, monetization system to create your community, hiring system to onboard new team members, vision board system to get clear on your goal. What are you doing?
I had pulled my wig down. But I laughed at the camera like, y'all didn't see that.
Vision board system to get clear on your goals. Content waterfall, which means you're turning long form content into shorter content. And last but not least, the audience growth system, which are the free platforms where you promote your business, like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and LinkedIn. Using all of those, you should be able to grow and scale your business in a real way. All right, you guys. That's it for me.
What was your intake on this episode?
I think, you know, from the very beginning conversation of not being a people pleaser business wise and not answering everybody's questions and kind of just referring them to my community, I think it will help me get more me time. You know, like, it does take time to kind of look up certain things or give yourself to people for free. And I think you'll clear out a lot of the dust if you say, oh, yeah, it's for this price. You know, you'll get rid of a lot of red flag people if you start charging. And when you start charging, the green flag people will represent your company well. So, yeah. What about you?
What's my intake? My intake is this podcast is going to be big because learning all of these things and talking about all of these things each week, and I don't know. I think that no,
because you be getting on my nerves with this. I don't know.
I know. I have to stop doing it. I have to stop doing it. I have to stop doing it. But what am I trying to say?
We all would like to know.
The podcast is really going to be useful for all of these. Can you teach me this? Can you? Where should I get this? And
questions.
Even with that, learning all these things and doing research just to get ready for the podcast is amazing. So
agreed.
If you have any questions, just listen and watch the podcast.
For sure. Make it a weekly ritual. We talk about different things every week. Every week you learn something different in a different category. It's not just one episode that's going to answer all your questions. Every week when we learn different things, y'all learn different things too. So
it's a lot of. And then when I listen to other fashion podcasts, they're not giving up this knowledge, this tape, this tea like we are.
Really? Okay. You say so. All right, you guys, count your blessings
before you count your money.
Bye.
Bye.